Hi, I'm cKnoor, and this is my introduction slash guide or whatever to Dominion. You may have noticed that I've uploaded a few games, and I will upload some more because me, Ethan, IB, and Change tend to play this like every other night at the moment. It's a really fun game, and it's actually really simple once you get like the core mechanic and you understand it. It's also very difficult to be really super good at it, and the reason I say that is because I'm not, and that's my excuse. Uh, Dominion is, it started out as a board game and is still a board game, but it is what's called a deck building game. That means you start the game with 10 cards in your deck, as you can see here, and then you draw 5 of them. Every turn you draw 5 cards, and every turn you have 1 action and 1 buy, and then you can use your money cards here. Currently, as this is the start of the game, I have 7 coins in my deck here of 10 cards and 3 victory point cards. I'm going to play my treasures here, hopefully. Dominion on GoCo is really slow at the moment. And then I get to buy a card. The way this works, I'm going to buy an island. There we go. And now we play the rest of the... now we get the rest of our cards in our deck. And we get to play again. I'm playing against a bot, by the way. And this time I'm going to buy a silver. And you may have noticed that once we've gone through all our cards, you shuffle the deck again. So that means that the 2 cards we bought in our previous 2 turns are now in our deck, and they'll come into our hands sooner or later. The point of the game is to build a good enough deck that you can buy these province or cards over here, because this is a victory point card that's worth 6 victory points, and in the when the game ends, whoever has the most victory point cards wins the game. Now this card is way better than this one. This is our current victory point cards that we have. We have an estate. It's worth 1 victory point. The problem with them is that victory point cards usually don't do anything other than just be there. So you want effective cards in your hand. So a usual strategy that you'll see a lot is us looking for cards that can trash. And trash means that you actually remove cards from your deck and they go on the discard pile over here. Like my bot opponent has already trashed a copper because he doesn't like it. I'm going to play this island. Island allows us to do a thing that's not really important, but actually I'll show you. Set aside this and another card from your hand, then return them to your deck at the end of the game. So basically what we've done is the same thing as trashing, only we still have these cards, but they are no longer in our deck. So we're more likely to pull the rest of the cards we bought and our bigger money cards. So and we got 3 money, and I can buy... what should I buy? Well, all of these suck. So I'm going to get a silver. Again. And as you can see, this keeps going and going and going. I got another island, which is great because that means I can put that estate there. And now, as you can see here, this is my deck currently. I have 7 cards in my deck and I've got 3 in my hand. So I'm back to 10. That means I've removed 4 cards. So my deck is actually much better now than it was when I started. And you can see that because I managed to get 5 monies here. And, oh, labs and markets are really good. As you can see, this is a market. It gives you, when you play it, you get 1 card, 1 action, 1 buy, and 1 money. The reason this is good is because, like I said, you only have 1 action per turn, which means you can only play 1 card. However, many cards give you more actions. So sometimes a really good strategy is to pile up on, say, laboratories over here, which gives you, when you played 2 new cards from your deck and an action. So as long as you play laboratories, and you might get another one and another one and another one, and so on. Fuck it, I'm going to get even more islands here. The game ends when 3 piles of these here. You can see the number up here is how many cards are left in the deck, or rather in the pile. And once 3 are done, or the province is empty, I think it's 3. It might be different depending on how many players you play. I'm not really sure, I'll be honest. I'm going to get a tactician. I'm not playing really well now. See, my bot opponent is already beating me because I'm talking to you guys. And my island, well, that's my estate. I don't want it in my hand anymore, so I'm going to get rid of it. That was probably a bad play because now I have 4 money again. Get more islands. And you keep going like this. Now, granted, some of you might say, but okay, so then every game kind of gonna look the same, samey, because after a while, surely one strategy is better than the next. And yes, this is true to an extent if you'd only play with these 10 cards here and these over here. But you don't, because in Dominion, there are a lot more action cards than they're actually allowed in a game of Dominion. So a big chunk of it, like if I was to play another game right now and this one, I'd probably get a lot of different cards here. So a lot of it is looking at the cards, which you can do here, by the way, and try and figure out, okay, so what's the best way to do things? Like, what's my strategy going to be? And when we play, you'll usually see us do slightly different strategies because it doesn't, well, and some of them are going to work out and some of them are not. We usually don't play that, well, we always play to win, but it's usually, okay, I'm going to go with this strategy and then we'll see how it works out. So it's not like super competitive as long as IB doesn't win. And that's kind of the main concept of the game. It's going to keep going like this until, well, the bot's probably going to beat me. And there we go. And I played a tactician last turn, which meant I get extra. What he does is, oh, I should probably explain that. This is an orange card. Orange cards are duration cards. That means they have an effect when you play them and an effect on your next turn. All green cards are victory point cards. This is an action / victory point card, so it counts for both. And, well, I think that's about it. Oh, right. One last important thing that I haven't mentioned. Buys. Usually, with actions, you have one buy per turn. That means you can only buy one card. But if you play some cool cards, you can get more. And I'm going to buy that province. And now I have 3 to get something else. So what should I get? I'm going to get a silver. And sometimes you might actually not want to buy anything because, well, like at this point, as you can see, my opponent has already bought gold cards. This, by the way, is the value of when you play it. Actually, it says right here as well. And this is how much they cost. So bottom left is always the cost of the card. Oh. And I got 2 buys and 7 coins. I'm going to get more markets and nothing else. And my opponent is just discarding shit. I'm going to play the tactician because I don't have anything I want to play here. And he got a stinking province. But so did I. And a marketplace. So now I'm like, oh, maybe I'll win this. Probably won't, by the way. I don't actually know how good the bot is. I've never played against the bot before. Okay, the reason I really like the market is because it gives you a lot of stuff. I'm not going to play this because that means I'm going to have to discard my whole hand, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to play my treasures and get another market instead. Playing a tactician might actually have been the better move here because he's really outbuying me when it comes to, well, everything, really. And I should probably get some labs too because labs are really good for pulling cards. Ah, he's... Woof, this guy. Yeah, shouldn't have done this. This is mostly just very embarrassing at this point. But we're gonna pull through, mostly because I wanted to show you how the game ends. Okay, so... I pulled 4 markets. That's really good for me. And, ooh, I would love to play the tactician, but I've only got 4 coins. And I want to play all of these treasures here so I can get that. And actually, nothing else. Unfortunately, you kind of have to keep track of what your opponent's buying as well, because he's bought 2 duchies. I know that because I haven't bought any, and there are only 6 left. We started with 8. So he's ahead of me in points, kind of. Well, I'm okay. Actually, no, because I have 3 islands, and he only has 2. So, assuming... he's got 4 provinces and I have, well, 1 left. We'll see, because I'm going to buy the last one and that's going to end the game. And I don't want anything else. So, the last province has been bought and we beat the banker bot because we bought the islands early on and we got rid of the estates and he only had 1. and then you try to buy back with duchies. But as you can see, the duchies are only worth 3, and they're still like 2 cards. So these ones are basically twice as good, because if you have victory point cards in your hand, they kind of slow you down, stuff like that. And that's how you play Dominion, kind of. I hope you realize how it works now. I'm going to try and explain what the cards do, and I think we do that in a lot of the games we play. It's a very chill atmosphere. Don't expect me to play optimally, because I don't. We play casually. We might go try hard sometime, but usually it's more like, oh, this is a really fun game and we enjoy it. If you want to play it, I do recommend GoCo.com. Yes, it costs money to buy the expansions, but it costs money to buy the board game as well. And you get the actual official card art. There are places to play it for free on the internet. They're not hard to find. You can just Google for it, and it might be a good way to learn, but I really like this interface. It's very simple. It's very easy to see what's going on. It seems to be a bit laggy at the moment, because I think a lot of people are playing because it's a fun game. But yeah, Dominion, play it. It's good fun. Everyone likes it. I've been cKnoor, and hopefully you learned something.